Holy frick, lads and ladies, what is up? Welcome back to the show. Possibly one of the wildest crapshoots I have seen for a CSGO event in a long time, especially one for a major qualification. That being an RMR event hosted by Epic League over in CIS has seen countless issues, if not questionable choices and circumstances around the event as well. And when someone like s1mple is pissed off, we will likely be talking about this probably in the following days, as he's involved, I would say, quite frequently in these problems, of which did begin. It only began with some accusations towards one of those competing teams known as Akuma, who actually came away with, I would say, a fair number of victories that was not expected. And as per usual in any esports scene out there, when you have a no-name team come up out of seemingly nowhere and see success against some of the top teams in likely the best region in CSGO, yes, you're going to have your suspicions, of which was suspected of radar hack or several of their members very blatantly maybe looking away from their monitor as well in several clips out there. Gotta make it obvious, these are accusations. Proving these guys are cheating is going to be seemingly impossible from this event, which we'll also talk about later on.
Же так снайпер пропушил апартанул, да? Я сомневаюсь, что сенсей бы в соло пошел пушить верхнюю настолько с авиком, да? И понятное дело, что Фейд это ожидал, скорее всего, саппорт.
На ретейк пойдет.
А что, нет, деньги есть. 2 раунда последних остается. Можно, в принципе, попробовать здесь что-нибудь придумать. Бомба даже еще не до конца установлена. Сергиз заходит. Сергиз начинает зашивать по одному. Здесь очень сложно игроку уйти как раз-таки с планта. Сергиз!
Действительно. Смогут разогнаться все-таки до ДС-2, да, и кто-то может сказать, что карта атаки, кто-то может сказать, что, в принципе, наверное, не столько атака здесь доминирует, как может показаться. Но я уже говорил, что, скорее всего, даст 2, но 2 на 3. 2 на 3, в общем-то, бомбу на длину и вперед. Хотя там 2 идут с банки. С банки как раз таки.
А успеет ли Молик? А не успел ли Молик? Но увидел всю информацию, которая нужна. Сенсей будет прикрывать. Замечает первого, забирает Торика, успевает скрыться.
А там еще и
забирает
убивают. Ой-ой-ой.
And this also around the same time we found out that matches on GOTV had 0 delay, and also some other very concerning issue for all the teams competing. Also at player cams for Akuma, sometimes not even showing up for portions of maps, and not to mention a betting site Paramatch, who is actually partnering with several teams, including Virtus Pro and Spirit, for this event. They then gave out refunds for bets placed on Navi and Virtus Pro, who played against Akuma, and they just blatantly tweet out a picture of a radar, kind of clearly making a joke of the suspicions around the event. And that's only where we're getting started, because then it's thanks to s1mple we find out there was no anti-cheat, there was no TeamSpeak record, no replays, and no information on the 5th place decider match, which we will also talk about in a second, because at the point of me recording, finally Navi and Entropic for that 5th place decider have agreed, after Valve confronted them, to actually play that match in the first place. But before all that, Akuma and one of their players did respond to the ongoing allegations. I will say, you know, despite things seeming skeptical at times, you cannot prove they cheated, especially with what s1mple just said. No anti-cheat, no records, and no real way to probably confirm they were cheating. I will say, though, despite the skepticalness, this is actually a pretty solid response for an up-and-comer to be accused just because they beat some good teams. And there will be a bit of a lack of translation, but generally speaking, saying yesterday we were tightly preparing for the Gambit match, so there was no time for Twitter, of course. I can't help but express my opinion on the rumors towards me and my team as a whole. If you don't know me, it doesn't mean that my team and I got here by chance. Our backbone has been training hard together for many years, and we've always been waiting for the moment to prove ourselves against tier 1 teams. It is sad to realize that when you achieve something, there will always be people who will not be happy with your success. It's funny to me for a comment on the forecast about looking at the radar, since I do this unconsciously. And also, just think in a clutch situation, probably it sometimes bothers me, but there are also many moments when it helps me. We have already asked the organizers to conduct a full check and are ready for full cooperation. Since we have nothing to hide, I would like to say thank you to those who are on our side, because now there are more people who support us than haters who throw mud at us. And it is always more noticeable than positive, adequate comments. So overall, a pretty good response, and you want to think they are legit. And if they do eventually make the major, hey, we got one heck of a storyline. Thanks to Lou over at HLTV, though, we find out the issues, well, they did continue, that being the final as well. Well, it was supposed to be, or said to be, a best of 3, ended up being a best of 5 for a Virtus Pro who was likely exhausted, already coming off a shortly there before a previous best of 3, so might have been changing the rules mid-event, although according to casters, they actually knew the final would be a best of 5 for weeks, but the teams apparently did not know that. Not to mention, I mean, it kept going. As even further, it was supposed to be Entropic who actually played and actually somehow previously bested Na'Vi already once. They were then eventually set to actually play for the 5th place decider until both teams, and it was announced by Epic, had actually agreed to not play the match and split the RMR points. And then we find out from a VK post that yes, it was actually Valve eventually stepping in, and it was Entropic who actually finally agreed to play the match. Na'Vi refused for a little bit until they were made aware they could be disqualified and have all of their RMR points revoked from the event, to which they finally gave in, and at the point of us recording, they should be playing tomorrow for that 5th place decider matchup, an event over there, yes, which S1mple has also said these are RMR events that help you qualify for the most prestigious events in CSGO, that being majors, with this many issues. Sure, if we had like one of these issues, it happens. But when you count 4 to 5 to 6, a handful of these issues all at one event, dude, this is tough to see. And we'll see how it does progress. When S1mple ain't happy, nobody happy. We'll see what he has to say in the coming days as well. What do y'all think about this one? CIS RMR event, probably one of the most scuffed events that we've ever seen, especially for a major qualification process. Till next time, you take care of yourselves, though. All right, you drink up, drink some water, drink some coffee. I'll catch you back here sometime soon. Okay, bye.
We'll be right back.